you use RPA? What is the concept behind RPA? Anything?
We have got 10,000 feet of understanding what RPA is. That this is a for automation, for probably from cognitive intelligence perspective, and so that's a 10,000 feet of view. But how it is done, what tools are used, we have got no understanding.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a repeating process will be continuing. So we can use a robotic process.
Okay. That it seems
continuous process.
Yeah. It seems people have done a very good homework before joining this one. That's good. Okay. No issues.
We just only need to know what it makes different in the recorded.
The robotic process automation.
Robotic process automation. Correct. So I like I will not be able to ask you everyone. So I'll be asking some few people, like they have to share why they want to learn. Any 2-3 people why they want to learn, or what is the idea behind to learn?
Yeah. RPA is a robotic process automation. Basically, in the market, there is a few tools available. If I talk about the tool, there is the automation anywhere, blueprint, and UiPath. So through that, we can automate, like this RPA has provided. Like if we talk about the automation, so initially we are going through the Excel VBA, Sys VBA, but with the robotics process automation, I think we can automate anything. Nothing has left here. Like we can automate PDF, we can automate the web, through the web, and the page flickering.
Correct. Like we'll be able to automate anything in the world. That is true. So any specific reason that why you people want to learn the RPA things? Like in order to I can take that for the job change, or for your self learning, or what? Like what is the reason behind it?
Well, if I talk about
Frankly speaking, the market will be high.
Yeah, this is Sunil. Yes. So what I understand is this RPA basically now company is looking for, like, there are a lot of man-head work is going on. So reduce this man work, they want something cost effective. So this RPA is the one of the tool which will help them to reduce the manpower effect and help them to do more work compared to the manpower what right now is happening.
Okay.
So I just add to what has been already said. Yes, this is one of the areas where you can reduce your cost by removing that the head counts. That's number one. Number two is it brings efficiency in that the system. Every time a robot or any automated process what it's doing, and at every point of time, 100% of the times it will be right. Whenever it comes a human intervention, there is a scope of some fault or some defects that can be eliminated. So it brings efficiency, it brings more productivity into that the system, and on the top of overarching everything, it is a cost. It reduces the cost if you look at it over a period of time.
Okay, correct. So we have got a very deep dive into the RPA concepts actually. So we'll be my question was that okay. So the thing is, most of us in this call might be some developer background. Some of them mostly from managerial background. Some of them are looking for technical architects. So those kind of things, those kind of roles, the people are mostly having here. So we'll be taking today it's a demo session. So we'll be taking you through what is the RPA concepts are, how you can implement, where you can implement, how to identify, yes, I can automate these procedures, those kind of things. We can go and discuss it. Okay. So if I'm moving forward from this part, so what is the robotic process automation? Guys, please be on mute. Whenever required, you can unmute it and you can discuss. So robotic process automation, it is a rise of virtual workforce. That means virtual workforce in the sense there will be no machines or no human being will be working down the line 5 years or 6 years. Everything should be automated. Everything will be worked by a robot. So these are the new values for us, which we are inviting them to the world. So that means we will be inviting some values for ourselves, who will be working ourselves in the sense for the operations people, might be for some managerial people, might be for some developers. So it is a kind of alias, like it is a kind of, these robots can replace anyone in the world, whether it is a manager, whether he is a senior manager, whether he is a developer, whether it is an operations guy, anyone, they can be replaced by these robots. So what are the concepts behind it? We'll look into that.
See,
It will
I have a question.
yeah.
See, what is the basic difference between business process automation and robotic process automation? Because I think this RPA is an extension of the business process automation, that also known as the BPM, business process management. So, what is the basic difference?
Okay, so we will be coming to each and every questions. Okay, whatever you have, just like keep hold on your questions. We'll be having the question and answer round. So there, I think after going through everything, you might get your answer at the end.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I
We'll
think,
having,
yeah, Rahul, this is my request. Please request everybody to ask question at the end of the session. Otherwise, we'll never be able to finish here. 50
so we'll be
people.
completing, we'll be giving time to each and everyone who has the questions. We'll discuss with everyone. Okay, don't worry, no one will go on. So the main objective of the demo will be what is the definition of robotic process automation, who are the leading vendors, what is the best use, how you can identify the scope, and the robotic automation planning. We have these 5 steps to complete. We'll see. The first one will be like 6th one will be life cycle of the process. 7th will be the time frame, how much time you can give to develop or deploy something. What are the strengths, weaknesses, objectives of automation anywhere, and the last one will be benefits. After all, we all are working for the benefit, for our benefits, whether it is a whether it is a benefit for organization, benefit of yourself, benefit for client. We'll see what are those. So if we will be coming to the like the first slide that we call as a definition. What is the definition for robotic process automation, or RPA? So as all of us know that it is a kind of software. Like the robotic process automation or robotics is the use of software to mimic the actions of a human user. That means what we are going to do is we are going to write some piece of code. We are going to write some multiple line number of codes which will replace a human agent, or which will mimic the job of a human agent, what he is doing day to day, to automate any business process. Let's take an example that each and every day in any of the BPO companies, people are coming to the office, they are fetching the data from one of the shared folder or shared drive shared by the organization. They will copy the data from the Excel and put them into any web form. Clicking on the save button, it will be get appended into any of the data. If the human being is doing this kind of things each and every day, so in order to replace that human being, we can write a piece of code which will do the same thing. So that is what a robotic process automation called. It will be a piece of code which will replace a human being, which will replace the use of a human, like the works of a human being, what he is doing on the day-to-day basis. So what the question arises, what kind of processes we can automate? The processes we can automate which are highly repetitive, rule-based, and user-structured data. That means the first point, highly repetitive. Highly repetitive in the sense, if the process is repetitive in manner, that means your like agents are coming, or the SMEs are coming to the floor, they are copying the data, like they are copying per day 10 data. So if you are copying the 10 data, that means if 10 people are working, then that means copying 100 records. So it will not be a very good business case to implement the RPA there, because the costing of implementing one RPA will be more than the benefit one. Like yeah, it will be more than what the benefit you will get. So it should be highly repetitive. That means that copy paste job should be more than 1,000 times per person, so that it will be 10,000 times for 10 people. So that our implementation cost will be lesser, like what we are going to get. The second one will be rule based. Rule based in the sense, it like automation, like any kind of RPA tools, whether you call it as a automation anywhere, Blue Prism, UiPath, Work Fusion, any kind of tool, it is not that much efficient to take any decision by its own. Okay, for that only we are telling that if it is a rule based procedure, that means every day we have to open the shared drive, we have to copy the Excel file, and we will open that one and we'll do the copy paste jobs through the automation, through the robots. If sometimes the file is in the shared drive, sometimes it in the local drive, sometimes it is in any of the FTP folders, so those kind of things will not be there. Automation or your RPA tools will not be able to finalize from where it will take the data. It should be rule based. Third one will be user structure data. In the user structure data, see, like just to take an example that people are coming, they are copying the data from Excel. They will copy the data from name field and they are putting into the web page in the name field. Correct. The data is the structured one. If they will be copying the, like in the name field, the data is in the date format. So whenever it will take the data and will paste there, that means it will create the issue. So the thing is that it should be the data should be in a structured manner. Unless the data is in a structured manner, we have to make it structured. Then we can prepare the RPA tools, or you can implement the RPA tools on that. This is the full concept of like what is the RPA, what is robotic process automation is, and like on what process, on which process it can work on. So what is the, like if you are talking about what is a RPA concept is, that means the concepts are, it emulates human execution of repetitive process with the existing business application. What the human people are doing currently, these repetitive processes will be replaced by existing business application. That means if they have the business application, if the operations have the business application, then those kind of things can be automated by using the robots. Virtual workforce controlled and monitored by business operations team. That means for these things, like for implementing our robots in any of the environment, with like any of the like whether it's in a cloud, whether it's in business, like is in a system, general like physical machines, it doesn't matter. It can be monitored by business operations team. It can be trained business users via configuration. Whenever we are writing any kind of codes in any language, we have the configuration files. Whether you write the code in Java, .NET, RP tools, anything, we have the configuration files, right? At the end of the implementation, we can train the business users. They can even run the automation. It's just a click on the button. If you click on that, then everything will be processed. Like everything will be gone executing. So we can do that. These are very lightweight, so that we can operate the business users as well by giving them the configuration files. It operates 24/7 because as it is a physical machine or it will be a virtual machine, you like it, these robots never needs any kind of break. You can run them 24/7. Sit alongside existing infrastructure governed. Sit alongside existing infrastructure governed, controlled by IT team. So like there is no need to set up any kind of extra things for it. Like where the people are sitting, where the SMEs are sitting, you can deploy your system, you can deploy your robots at the side, like beside the robot, beside the agents, so that everything can be work on parallelly. So there is no very big infrastructure needed or very cost effective infrastructure needed. Those kind of things are not required. It generates audit logs. The audit logs, why you require audit logs? Take an example that you have 10 people working in a process. So whenever the 10 people are working, if one people is making any mistake in that, like you are running your invoicing kind of things, right? If someone is doing any kind of mistake, you will not be able to know from which user we have done this one. If you have the audit logs, like step-wise audit logs you have, then you can easily identify from the clients that which client or which robo machine has created the issue, or what has happened from where. So it generates audit logs automatically, any kind of RPA tool. These are very easy to deploy. As I have told you, these are very lightweight processes, and the exe files are very also lightweight. Then you can directly take these things, you can deploy anywhere. These are very easy to deploy. If you coming to the leading vendors, these are the very leading vendors in the market. You can call that the Blue Prism, OpenSpan, Automation Anywhere, UiPath, WorkFusion, OpenConnect. So these are the very leading vendors in the market that are providing the services for any kind of RPA process. So we'll be coming to the best use. What are the best use of all of the RPAs? Okay. So the best use will be your dual data entry scenario. So dual data entry scenario, that means sometimes what happens, like just take an example that your people are working on any of the systems, so which the data should be entered into the web page, which will be the data will be traversed from one system to another, from another system to another. That means we are talking about that if you have the data in your Excel file and you want to insert the data into the web page, and those data should be saved into the database or any other consolidated Excel files. So dual data entry scenarios can be happen. That means if you are entering the data into one system, one application, then the data can be traversed from many, like from more than one systems at the single time. There's getting a very background sound. Can you please mute? Yeah, straight through processing. The straight through processing, that means whenever we are working on any of the applications, you must be coming to know that we will be having the data, or we might receive the input data from various systems. Like, please go on mute, please. Please go on mute. So the thing is straight through processing. The straight through processing, that means inputs might be arrived from various systems, like some web pages, or from any of the Excel files, or from any of the database, from any ERP applications. So from anywhere the data you will be receiving for the application, those can be captured by your RPA tools and can be prepared by a single file, which can be inserted into any of the database. Like what does it mean is you can receive the data from multiple items, from multiple sources, and prepare one consolidated file, and you can use that one as the input for your automation. Virtual integration between different systems. Virtual integration between different systems, in the sense, yeah, like most of us have seen that it is very difficult and time consuming as well as money consuming. Financially, it is also very it is very strong to communicate between different applications. That means if you have any legacy application, or you might have some applications inside the Citrix, then it will be very difficult for the IT team to communicate from inside and outside Citrix. Correct. So those kind of things is very easily doable by the RPA tools. These are very efficient to communicate between the any kind of ERPs or any kind of standalone legacy applications. Are very easy to communicate. So no need to worry about that. If I have to communicate between multiple applications, how shall I be communicating those things? Yeah? So the next point will be responding to data extraction and reporting requests. So what it means is, if your automation or your RPA tools, any of the tool is running on, and you have to extract data from multiple sources, you can do that one, and you can prepare one consolidated sheet, and you can use that one for the reporting purposes. You can, if your client says that I have to extract some data from the some web services as well as from some DB, and consolidate that one and send me at the end of the day. So in that cases, you can also use your RPA tools. These RPA tools are very much confident or very much efficient to communicate between different sources. They can take the data from the different sources, and they can prepare the sheet, and they can also auto send the emails. Yeah. The rule-based decision making. The rule-based decision making in the sense like whenever there is a decision making concept comes, like that should be rule-based. If that is if any process in the world which will be running on a rule, that means there should be some logic we have to define. If you are defining in logic, that should be run very smoothly. Then at that point, RPA can be used very easily. Okay. We'll be coming to the key things to identify scope. We till now we discussed what we'll get, like where best we can use and what is the definition. Now we're coming to discuss that what are the key things, like what is the best use to discuss, but the concept here it is how we will be identifying that any of the process, any of the business process will be very suitable to get automated. Correct? So now if we'll be coming, we have some factors that we have to define, that we have to work on. This is the question for the for the people who wants to work as a solution architect. Okay, because they will be the responsible, like they will be the only person who has the rights to decide whether we can automate a process or not, or whether these things like kind of things are done by the automation or not. So for that only we have the key things to identify scope. So we have the human factor, complexity, process stability, input type, rule based versus decision based, and error rate. We'll be going one by one. What is a human factor? So here as a solution architect or a project manager, you have to think on the both the ways. Okay, what is a human factor? That means if I am going to automate any of the process, how much FT, full-time employee I am going to release, and how much things that I am going to implement, like how many developers will be implemented to design that one, and how much FT I will be getting from that. So the total FT count in the process, monthly volume of work being done, lead time involved, and tag time. So the human factor, it includes that we have to count if I am implementing one of the you can call that invoice processing process, then I will be getting 5 FT or 6 FT released. Okay, that means the FT release in the sense what we call is the technically FT release is if I am going to implement one process, how many people can be replaced? That we call it FT, full-time employee replacement. What is the complexity? I have to check what is the complexity for the process as well. As we know that if any process is there, or any of the you can call that any application we have to develop or to design anything. So it depends on the complexity, right? So if the process is very complex, definitely the development time will be taking more. If it is more complex, like simplex process, then the development time will be coming, like it will be degraded. So development time is proportional to the complexity involved in the process. The more complex is the process, more time it will be taken to develop. More development costs will be involved, more technical issues might become. You have to think about on this perspective as well. The process stability. So in process stability, what it says is if you have any process or your operations team or your any of the client says that yeah, come and automate one of my process. So you have to see that on which application they are targeting, whether they are targeting any SAP application, any mainframe application, any web application, any Windows, anything. So the clients should be confident enough on that target application that it should be be stable in the manner, stable in the sense like there should be no frequent changes should be coming if you are working on any of the web portal, so that frequent changes on those things should not come, because any kind of changes in the process or any kind of changes in the
Muted.
Next one, the input type. The input type will be, inputs could be structured or unstructured. You don't know, like I have to download some files from the FTP, and I will the client will tell that download the file from the FTP and start processing the invoices, like the start processing all those of orders. So you will not be able to directly download and start working on that, because like there might be some unstructured data, right? So in order to avoid those things, so in order to avoid those things, what we have to do is we have to like we have to see what is the input that we are getting, whether that input file or the data in that input file are up to the level or up to the structure level what we are looking for. Because we can't randomly write any code to take the data and can work on, right? So for that only we need some data in a structured manner. If the data are not in the structured manner, what the file that you are downloading from FTP or from any other applications, we have to make them in a structured format, then you can use this one. So here it is saying inputs could be structured or unstructured. For unstructured input, there is a need to standardize the input format. Robot fits well on structured input rather than unstructured one. It depends on operation if they welcome this change for the robots. Okay? So the like whatever the data you are targeting to work on, that should be in a structured manner. If it is not in a structured manner, you can make it a structure, then you can work on that. That is the first thing. Second thing will be rule-based versus decision-based. As we have discussed, if the some 2% or 3% kind of decision-making concepts are there in any of the process, then you can take it as a good example for the RPA automation. If it is some 80% things you have to take the decision, it depends on the human decision, then don't go for that. It will be a loss for you as well. Because see, in automation we have two concepts. One will be successfully process any of the file, any of the record. Second one will be go as a fallout. Fallout, that means that doesn't fall under our conditions, our coding standards, like as per the rules we mentioned. So that will be processed by a human being. Correct. So if you will take the rule based, like if you will take everything as a decision making things, then 80% is not. Automation works based on rule-based processes as compared to those with a high number of decision makings. Go with a process that is majorly rule-based and involves lesser decision making and judgments. Because the cognitive
Muted.
is still a challenge for automation tools in the market. Okay. So the error rate. So what is the error rate? Is that means see, just one example I could give you. If you are putting 10 people to work on, okay, and if all of them are preparing one like, so if they are having any one issues or anything on that, okay, so let's take an example that 10 people are working on any of the process, and whenever they are processing the records, everyone will make one errors. So that means at the time 10 records will be failed. Okay. So Binay will be going there. Don't worry, we will be having the automation and overview as well. So just let me tell the people what is RPA is, because you might be knowing what other people might not be knowing. So we have to take them as well. So robots are, so what I was telling that if 10 people are making one mistake, then it will be a 10 mistake for the client. Correct. Which is not a very good impression to satisfy one of the client. So, but if we are using any kind of robots on that, the error rates can be like, as someone was telling that yes, error rates you can cut it, because if we are working on the robots, because everything will be rule based. Okay, nothing will be on the decision making things or any kind of human being is doing. So whatever the logic we have defined inside that, those will be follow those, like the robots will be follow those things. So if it does not falls under our criteria, our rules, what we have mentioned, then it will go as a fallout, which can be processed by agent. It can be like, it will be a rejection by the automation, but it will not create any exception. So removing these overheads from a process would account for greater productivity. We can make the quick changeover, reduction in cycle time, and speedy operation. So now we have to come to what is the RPA planning, robotic process automation planning. That means it will be, this topic will be very suitable for the people who will be working as a project manager kind of things, like for the RPA, or the like the solution architect manager type of kind of things. Okay, be concentrate on these things. So first of all, we have 3 phases. One will be discovery phase, another will be process assessment, third one will be business case proposal. In discovery phase, what we basically do is we have to take a 2 to 3 hours of meeting with the key business stakeholders who can give us the idea what is the process is about. The high level description we have to do, we have to sit with the client, with the higher professionals from the client, we have to understand what is the high level processes. That comes under discovery phase. Then next comes your process assessment. In this process assessment, what we do is, like, we have to sit with the, like, first phase we got the high level overview, then we have to go inside, we have to get the deep dive, like we have to deep dive into that, and we have to get what is the process is all about. So like 1 to 2 days workshop with the process owners and SMEs, like what are the ground level work, like who people are working on the ground level. We have to connect with them, we have to understand, we have to see the screens. Yes, this is the screen, this is the SAP screen, this is the mainframe screen. We have to retrieve the data from this screen and we have to plan here. So we have to do this kind of process assessments by sitting like 1 to 2 days, the full workshop with the SMEs to understand what is the as-is process that they are following currently. The business case proposal. The business case proposal in the sense, like, it evaluates top RPA vendors. Like here you have to evaluate whether I can work in this application, I'll be able to implement automation anywhere, or I'll be able to implement blueprint or UiPath or workflow. Here you have to take that call. You have to calculate the RPA benefits, you have to calculate the cost, time, full-time employee release. So you have to define the project cost, then after that you can take the approvals. So these 3 are the very important phase for any kind of applications to be coming into your RPA cloud. That discovery phase, process assessment, and business case proposal. So after getting the approvals on your business case, then you can go for the development, or you can think for the next step. So generally this kind of planning stage, the planning phase takes around 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, you can take it as a 1 month it takes to discover or process assessment and business case proposal to define. So if we'll be going to the next one, we'll be discussing about what are the life cycles. As I have discussed that the plan and analyze and identify. So then in plan and analyze, what we see that, yes, like in plan and analyze, what we got, like we have to see what is the processes, how like which kind of tool we can implement here. After implementing the tool, how much of return on investment, that is your FT calculation we are getting. Okay, then we have to, after that one, we have to come to the identify stage. In identify stage, what we can see that after discussing with the SMEs or after discussing with the business operations, we have to see that what kind of the smaller tasks we have, what kind of reusable code components we can prepare so that we can implement in multiple times inside that project. Those kind of things we have to search in the identify stage. We can we can think about the time frames, or we can think about how soon we can give the release to the client. Those kind of things we can discuss on the identify scope. Next thing will be implementation. Here we will be coming to the development phase. As a here we have to distribute the task among your team members, teammates, and create the best architecture kind of things, like technical design documents. Those kind of things you can prepare in this implementation stage. Along with that, you can start your development stage as well. So after your development completion, we have the testing environments as well, like other applications what we do. So here we have 2 kinds of testing environments will be. First one will be the SIT, second one will be the UAT. So the SIT we call is the system integration test, UAT we call as a user acceptance test. So in system integration test, what you have to do is, you have to take your code from one system and you have to put it into the production machine. But here you will be accessing to the, not to the production data, but to the test data. Okay, so in the production and in the SIP phase, what we do is whatever the configuration files or the task files or the code blocks we have, we take everything to the another machine which we call it the production machine, and we try to set up the same you can call that like the same concept or the same infrastructure there as well. And we ask the SMEs or we ask the operations to give us some test data to testing, and after, if everything is running well, then we can send them to the UAT, that means user acceptance test. In user acceptance test, basically the developers will not have any edit option. They will be only seeing, like in this case in UAT, the operations people will be running your automation, and you have to sit as a, like you have to sit and see what kind of things are going on, if any kind of issues are happening any time. So those kind of things we'll be doing in the UAT phase. And the operation will running the full volume to get that much of confidence. Yes, the team what they have developed a good thing. It is implemented everywhere, that we are getting the desired output what we basically get as a agent when we work as an agent. That will come on a UAT stage. The next phase will be after getting the sign up for UAT, we go for the go live stage. In go live stage, what we do is we directly take the things, take the codes, our configuration files, our folder structures to the production machine. We deploy there, and we give the operations to run it fully with the full volumes. That after completion, like post successful parallel run, check overall results, that if the operation is happy with you or your client is happy with you, then you can ask for, like they can go for releasing the FTs. So this will be the last stage of your life cycle where you get the benefit. That means in case of payment or in case of FT release, you will be getting here. If we will be going to the next one, that will be the RPA time frames. Okay, so what are the RPA time frames? As we have discussed, everything depends on the complexity. Okay, whether if it is a low complexity process, then the process time takes around 3 weeks. Okay, if it is a very low process, that means there is nothing, you have to copy the data from Excel, paste it into any of the web page or anything. It is a very low process, low complexity process, then you can make it as a you can complete it within 3 weeks, which contains the process analysis, solution design, development testing, and move to the production. This kind of 3 things, it will be take into the comparison, and it might complete into the 3 weeks, 1 to 3 weeks. So if it is a medium complex, then we take it by within 6 weeks you have to complete. If it is a very high complex process, then we might take some 2 months of time. Okay, and we can everything includes the process analysis, solution design, development testing, and you're moving to the production and getting to the sign. That is starting from preparing your business requirement document to get the final sign up for the FTS. It will be like it will take this much of time what we have quoted here. If you'll be coming to the next slide, what will be the benefits? Like we have deployed the code, deployed the tool. Now, what will be our benefit? The benefits will be, if we'll be implementing the RPA, then the business will be getting a unified view of the customer view. That means whatever things, like, see, just take an example that you are the CEO of one organization. You are running a small business, like of some 15-20 people are working on that process on your office. So you have to travel to outside India, or you have to travel outside. So at that time you will not be able to sit in the office to see which people are doing what kind of things, right? But if you have implemented your RPA, that means it will create one web URL. So anywhere from the world you can access that URL, and you can see from which machine what kind of things are being done. It is automation, like the RPA tools are very strong enough so that they can, like, it will give you a one pager view. What is happening here? It will give you one pager view. Improvement in customer satisfaction index. As we have discussed, that if 10 people are making one mistake, then they make 10 mistakes, correct? If your automation will be running or your RPA tools are running, that means there will be no error. It might be a result, not a, like you can call it, not a failure, or not, it will not be processed wrongly. Next will be up to 80% reduction in average handling time and 90% reduction in average resolution time. Just take an example that if there is a invoice is there and your operations team is taking 5 minutes to process one invoice, then automation can be do that, like can achieve those things, those kind of things in 4.5 minutes. So that straightforward, you can keep some 30 seconds buffer, like you can save there. So it can work more speedily than a human agent. No impact on the security, as RPA only does what agent does. That means if agents are opening any of the applications, they are logging in by using the credentials. So what kind of things the agents are doing, so same thing will be replicated by the robots, right? So that means for agent you need the user ID password, for robots you have to put the user ID password, correct? And so it will not be any kind of security breach will not be happening here, because no one will be communicating with the what is the password stored. And yeah, one more thing is that in case of a human being, people can remember that in their mind, the passwords. But what in robots, what we do is we keep everything in an encrypted format. Okay, so no one will be come to know what is happening, like what is the password, or even if they can log into the machine, they will not be able to see what is the password for this application or password for this SAP skill. Correct. Next one will be increase return on investment within 3 months. Return on investment, it is a survey that after surveying for all the RPA tools, it has been taken that if you are implementing your RPA tools or RPA things in any of the process, then you will be come to get your profit in 3 months. You will start on getting a return on investment in next 3 months. The next will be same headcount for triple the activity. The same headcount for triple the activity in the sense, like if just take an example that you are like you have a BPO process which needs to be operated 24 hours, right? So in that case, if you want to make it operate, you have to engage 3 people in a 8 hours. So you have to pay for 3 people straight away. But if you are implementing your RPA, in that case, or any robot, that robot can work for 24/7. That means one in only one resource. You can consider that as one resource can be worked 24/7, and you can save the resource, like money of 2 resources straight away. So it can give us the same headcount for triple the activity. Correct? So if we'll be coming to this part, what is the automation anywhere features? That as we will know that like we are going to study the automation anywhere. So we'll be coming to know what are the automation anywhere features we have. The first thing is the instant support from team. That means if you are working in any corporate, you just drop a note. You have any questions, you can drop any one email. You will get the result in next 30 minutes. They will definitely get back to you in next 30 minutes, which is not possible by any of the other RPA tools. Web control room implementation. Before, like sometime I was just mentioning one thing, that if you are traveling outside, you don't have any access to your, or like you don't know what is happening in the office. So it is providing us the web control room. So what web control room means is, whatever the things we have or what are the robots are doing, what are the machines you are doing, we can see that one by this web control room. So this automation anywhere has that much of facility, which is not having with any other tools like Blue Prism, UiPath. They are not giving any kind of web control room concept. The use of DLL. The DLL, why you use? That means just take an example that we have to call any kind of external services. So how will we calling? So calling the external services is directly not possible by any of the robotics tools. But here we can, what we can do it is we can prepare one .NET DLL. Only the .NET DLL is acceptable by the automation anyway. We can prepare the .NET DLL and we can like integrate that .NET DLL with our code, so that like we can be like any kind of applications can be accessible. Use of any kind of database like SQL, Oracle, MS Access, Excel, any kind of database you want, then you can use. Use of REST API. The REST API, I think the most of you, if you are from anywhere from .NET background, then that must be knowing what is a REST API. It's a representational state transfer protocol. So that means it is a stateless application, stateless API is what we can call that one. So it is also supported by the automation anyway. Communication to FTP. If your applications are in FTP and your client else to communicate with these kind of things, then you can also communicate easily, very easily. You have to put your IP address, your credentials in encrypted format. It will connect to that. It will give you the data, give you the file. Easy communication with web applications, communication with applications behind Citrix, automating Excel. As we are know that we will be targeting the BPO sectors mainly. So in BPO sectors, if your automation, if your Excel is being automated, that means your 80% automation is done. So we can easily automate the Excel. Hassle-free use of the macros. So in case we need, like as we were talking, that if the data is in not a format, proper format, we have to make it into the proper like into the structured data, right? So in that case, you can use your macros so that they will run and they will prepare the fair Excel sheet, which will give you the very good result in your automation output. The reduced cost, the easy implementation of mainframe applications by terminal emulator. So this terminal emulator, what we call that is like if you have any mainframe applications, PuTTY applications, we have a separate command in automation anywhere that we call as a terminal emulator. You'll be easily like integrate those kind of mainframe applications. This is not very easy for the people, for the operations to understand, but your RPA tools will be definitely very easy to capture or read or write data into the mainframe applications. It reduces cost as we automate transaction processing, helps to provide high productivity benefits, higher efficiency in process and reduction of non-value add activities. Higher efficiency in process, that means what is the efficiency that we are expecting from any of the agent. So it will give you more than that, so that, and at the same time you can use those agents to work for any kind of value add activities. This is a copy paste kind of things. If one person is doing, that means he is not putting any kind of value add activities, right? So if they can be used for not like any kind of value add activities, then the robot can take on their place. Okay. So is it Samba, the voice is low for you or everyone is having the same issue? I guess not all.
Yeah, we are able to hear very clearly.
Okay, so might be some like you must have some connectivity issues, or just check your internet connectivity.
Sometimes the voice is cracking, sometimes, but otherwise it's fine.
So in automation environment clients, if anyone having any idea to skip the job or to change the job, so this slide will be the very useful for them. Okay. The companies like any kind of like what we call the big four companies like your KPMG, EY, and Deloitte, anything, Deloitte, Accenture, Genpact, PwC. You just take the name of any of the company, any of the big MNC, you will get the RPA team there. So if you are planning to skip the job, just learn the automation in your tool and go for the best. Like you can go for the best price. Any kind of company, even if LinkedIn, Cognizant, L&T, Whirlpool, ANZ, Tesco, Citigroup, everyone are entering into the like RPA domain. So if you want to skip the job, it is the best time to just skip. Then the domains that automation anywhere works on. It can work on healthcare, it can work on any of the BPO, it can work on banking systems that we call BFSI. And it can be worked on any of the telecom or and if you are working on the IT team, that IT operations kind of things, it can be automated. So if you can see that, or like this RPA can be implemented anywhere, everywhere. Okay. So if you're going to the like what we will be covering in our trainings, we will be covering the web control room, how to implement or how to install those things. various tools from Automation Anywhere 10.2.0 version, and case studies to automate different applications, hands-on experience on Automation Anywhere, helps on certifications, like not the certification things, like if you want, then you can go outside and you can do the certification. Help for interview preparation and job assessments. So help on interview preparation in the sense, if you like, I'll be providing you the like questions, what are the questions we have, okay, and with the question banks, you will be getting to you can call that some 60% or about 70-75% questions will be covered from there, and the rest 25% they will ask from the project. So what you can do that, like we'll be having one kind of case study which will look like a very pretty similar to your live project, so that you can implement there. And in case of job assistance, if you need any kind of like special preparation in the sense, like special preparation in the sense, if you need to know that where the vacancies are going on, or we have like where the vacancy is going on, so if anything is coming to our end, then we will definitely let you know. Yeah, correct. So I think now we should be open for the questions and answers. So we'll be like going one by one. Yeah.
Rahul, does it work on ERP, SAP, Oracle application?
Yes, Oracle, SAP applications, it will be definitely work.
Okay. And how much is coding in that? Because everybody may not be from technical background, right? Somebody from the process background. So people who have worked on process, so do they need to learn a lot of coding here, or is it more drag and drop kind of things are there?
See, the tools are purely drag and drop, okay? But in order to drag and drop things, we need some basic things, like we should be able to know about what is the if conditions we have, how to implement the loop, or how to declare one kind of variables, how to use the variables in programming language. So those kind of things, yes, we might be required. Not a very high level, but small things.
Rahul, this automation anywhere, the earlier slide you talked about automation anywhere 10.2.0. Is it a product, or what is it? Is it a tool or a product?
It's a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool having it has a versions, and this one is the latest one that we are going to implement.
Yeah, hi Rahul. I heard that Automation Anywhere is required much coding than other RPA tools. Is that right?
No, it doesn't. Like, it does not require any kind of very high level coding parts. But yes, if you know about your if conditions, your looping part, or your variable declaration kind of things, then you will be good to know. Like, you'll be able to understand those kind of things, and you can implement it.
And Rahul, this coding is similar to what application? Is it Visual Basic or C# or how is it?
See, these are the drag and drop tools. Okay. These are very much drag and drop tools. Like, if you want to put the if condition, like you can drag the if condition here. You have to pass your parameters, then it's done.
Okay, so that is something like a visual if else conditions and all we put, and then just attach a process.
See, I'm not aware of the visual basic kind of thing. If you're talking about the C# code, have you seen the .NET Windows-based applications? Have you seen?
Right.
Like where we're dragging the text boxes, we're dragging the drop downs.
Got it. Yeah,
those
got
kind
it.
Of
Yeah,
things.
yeah, right.
So those kind of things.
No, okay, nothing like you have to sit and write some code like if.
No. You can't write anything. You have to only drag and drop. You can't write anything.
Right. But sorry for interrupt. But in the expression, do we need to write some code, right?
In which expression you are talking about? Is that
Sorry.
if
so whatever we drag and drop, okay. So there we need to put some expressions in each and every
decision,
right.
What it does is actually, if you want to, so what are the things we have inside? We have the variables, so we can declare the variables. we have to pass the variables only. We don't have to write anything.
Rahul, we have some custom business logic and to implement.
System?
So then we use custom business logic to implement that robot. So we can do DLLs or we can.
The first thing, if it is doable by automation anywhere or RPA tool, then you can do it. If you think that yes, I can't, like I will not be able to achieve these things by writing the .NET, like writing the AA codes, then most probably you have to go for the DLLs. Then you can integrate those DLLs.
I can make DLL in Visual Studio, then
Yes,
integrate those.
You can integrate those DLLs in your automation.
How?
Hi, Rahul.
Yeah.
Rahul, how long will it take to learn RPA?
So I think it will take it will take some I guess 1 month's time, like 8 days, 4 weekends, I guess. Like
yeah, you
unmuted.
Rahul, otherwise you can tell in hours.
Yeah, in hours it should take some 20 to 25 hours to complete.
Okay.
All right.
Rahul, you mentioned some automation to hello.
Hi, voice is breaking.
Hi, Rahul.
So Rahul, 22 to 25 hours just for automation anywhere or for UI path as well?
No, only for automation.
Okay, all right.
Rahul, is there any shorter course like within a week? Is there any kind of thing?
So like you see, this kind of things you have to connect with Rahul, or you have to connect with Sekhar on that. So I'll not be able to connect. Like if you have any technical questions, anything, you can.
So Rahul, I have a question. See, Rahul, suppose all the ERP applications are going to the cloud, right? So assuming that say I have Oracle in the cloud and I will install this automation anywhere in my desktop. How does it work? How does this desktop automation anywhere talk to the application in the cloud? How does it happen?
See, the thing is, if you have everything inside the Citrix, okay, you're talking about you can call it inside cloud. That means if everything is in the virtual machines inside the Citrix, right? And you have to access those Oracle-based applications. So in that case, you have to
SaaS
implement
applications. Basically, how do you access those SaaS applications?
Yeah, so in that case, you have to you have to install everything inside the Citrix, okay, so that your automation can run inside your virtual machine, and whatever things required, then you can get it.
Rahul, would like to understand the difference between BPM tool and this RPA tool.
Sir, I'm not sure about what is the BPM tool is. Can you please elaborate?
Pega tool, even in the business process management, like we even Pega is like it's a drag and drop. Okay, for like you develop for an insurance healthcare domain.
So like in that case, what we do, like by using that one, what kind of things you achieve?
So because like Pega tool is an is a tool in which we develop a business process, like whatever the flow of the application is, we develop in a Pega tool. Now, what is the difference between that tool and this RPA tool?
See, what RPA tool is doing is, I'm not sure about that BPM tool. I can tell you what is RPA is doing. You can relate and give me the difference. Okay. So what RPA does is, like RPA will target one of the application what the business or the operation is working on, and RPA will try to automate that process. So I think your business process management BPM tool is something which will identify that how the process will run, right?
Correct. Yes. Okay. Fine.
So and after you defining that one, you have to develop the application. When the application is developed and stable, then RPA come into the picture and it will automate that.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Rahul, Rahul, I just have one question actually. So, will it be feasible to learn for 2.6 years of experience in testing background? So, will it be good to learn this?
If you are it matters if you are a college pass out or you
No,
are
I
a
have.
wait,
Yeah.
I'm just telling.
Okay.
If you are a college pass out or having 30 years of experience, so there are different roles in RPA. So if you have 2.6 years of experience, you may go as a RPA developer. If you have 5 years experience, you can go as a senior resource for the RPA. If you have 10 years experience, then you can go as a solution architect. Like so,
Okay.
as your experience grows, you will go on getting all these things. So there is not
All
there is
right.
not only there is not only one role for and there are some hierarchies as well in RPA, right? So you can go
Okay.
according to your experience.
Okay. So
Rahul,
age doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
so Rahul,
For the training, I have a question. For training, you said we'll have hands-on experience on automation anywhere application. So it is like you have the tool, right? Because in my current role, I don't have access to any automation anywhere or any other tool. So when we come for training, you will give access to the tool, right?
Yes, correct. You will get that. You will get the tools for practice. Okay.
Okay.
And
So
it will be
yeah, that's
a
all
it,
because
it
we
will be
don't.
a
Yeah.
it will be a 30 days of trial license. After 30 days,
Okay.
it will get expired. So whatever practice you have to do within that 30 days.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Rahul,
Thank you.
Rahul, automation anywhere can be hosted on cloud.
Anywhere, sir. Anywhere you can host it. So inside the cloud, you can create your virtual machine. You can implement it.
Other question is that you are saying about the certification. This certification comes from directly automation anywhere, or it is going to be given by your institute?
It will come from automation anywhere, and it will cost you around near about 40 to 45,000 for registration for that certification.
But at present, it is not available for outside people. It is for only people who have a license working and working in automation anywhere. It is not for outside.
Rahul, what are the job opportunities that we have? Many of the IT companies which I know, still they don't know about robotics and automation. So
So
what are the job?
just give me a company name and I can tell you whether these companies are working or not working. If you have seen my screen properly, or if else you can see it right now, you will come to know any kind of big MNC you put your finger, you will get a RPA domain there.
Okay, I am working with CSC, our organization.
Computer Science
Yeah,
Corporation,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Rahul, any training on a solution architect?
Solution architect, we have some other programs as well for the you can connect back later, we can have the discussion on that.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So for this certification, what kind of questions will it be there?
So for this certification, they have 4 rounds of interviews. One will be two interviews will be on online exam. Third one will be a case study. Fourth one will be your face-to-face round. So they will ask you on the final round what you have done in the case study. You have to explain them, then you can get your certification.
So Rahul, this is a 1-month course, and for the experienced people having 10 plus experience, you are saying solution architect, but is this this basic program or intermediate program, again there will be separate program for solution architect, or it is an assumption that once this course is there, they can apply even for the solution architect because they have their experience on other projects so far?
To sort your questions. So what I can tell you is even if you are working as a solution architect, okay, you must be knowing about what is the command is, or because if your client will tell that I have to read some data from my scanned PDF, right? So you should be knowing about whether it is possible to read the scanned PDF to automation anywhere or not, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, you have to go through, you must have some knowledge on the tool. What are the limitations of the tool? What are the advantages, disadvantages of the tool? After that only you can go as a solution architect.
Yes.
Is that this exam also for UiPath or it is only for automation anywhere?
It's for automation anyway.
Not for UiPath. Okay. Lastly, the
Rahul,
way you have explained this automation anywhere, it seems like this is more of a project management type. So a person with PMP or a project experience will have an upper hand, or just
Sorry, it's like your voice is I'm not clearly.
okay. The way you have explained it, I attended a demo yesterday, which was on UiPath. Today, how you explain seems like it is more of a project management and then RPA. So a person who has a project management experience or an PMP have an upper edge for automation anywhere, or any person can go for this.
See, any person can go for it. Like as I told you earlier, that if you are a college freshers pass out or you have 30 years of experience, it doesn't matter. You can learn RPA, you can implement RPA at any stage of your career.
So Rahul, is it open source so that we can install it and run in our local machine and practice it?
No, it will not be open source one.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Which one do you suggest? It should be UiPath or automation anywhere?
UiPath. No, I was asking about UiPath.
No, I'm just asking Rahul. So in case I'm a person who is 10 years of experience in automation.
See, any tool, I am telling you, in RPA, you go for any tool. You can go for Blue Prism, you can go for automation anywhere, you can go for UiPath, any tool you go. You can make your change the domain at any time.
And if somebody has certification, won't that be upper edge? So I'm going for an interview to Deloitte. I have done a UiPath and you have done automation anywhere with a certificate. So will you have an upper edge? I'm just asking out of curiosity.
Sorry, I missed your last point.
So in case you are certified, you have knowledge of UiPath. I have knowledge of automation anywhere, and I'm certified also. And if we both go for an interview, so will I, as an automation anywhere certified, will have an upper edge?
See, that definitely, if you have depends on the company actually, like how they are going to hire you. If they want to discard you that you have the you don't have the license, then they can discard you. If they will take the no, this candidate is a certified one, I have to take him, then if they can take you. It depends. Yeah, definitely if you are a certified person,
don't have that much sound knowledge compared to other person. Obviously, they'll
they'll take you.
It depends. It depends.
It depends on the mind of the interviewer, what he is asking and what the company asks. What is the cost of this training? So those things will be shared to you.
So what will be the cost for certification for UiPath? Any idea?
No, sir, no idea.
Okay.
Rahul, certification is necessary for that.
RPA tool
not
having certification. I don't know from where you people are getting this information. Just send us a link. We will tell you the complete details about certification.
So, like most of the, so many of the questions is around the job prospects and being an IT, going in a difficult world. So, going this course, having good knowledge, will give an open door for the jobs. Yes or no?
Sorry, can you please repeat that one? I just missed the last one.
Like I heard many people around the jobs looking this doing the course and getting a job. So from this course, what are your confidence that shall we get the job easily?
I can tell you, sir, in 2000, by the end of 2018, IT industry requires 1 lakh of trained resources on RPA. So you should be one of them. That is the concept.
Rahul, my question is, suppose this by using this tool, so we are reducing the human error as well as human beings, right?
Yeah.
So after a couple of years or within 1 year or within 2 years, so entire thing will be, so in suppose one organization, they are hiring right now 100 people. After implementing this, they will hire only 10 people.
Hello.
Is it right?
Yeah, that is right.
After a couple of years, I think the entire jobs will be reduced as compared to now.
It depends on the demand of the market. Like if you are, see, we are going on implementing the things, right? So at the same time, to whom we are releasing from the job, those people can be utilized for any other process or any other application. Correct. So there will not be any kind of job shortage in the market or those kind of things.
So out of whatever your RPA tools you shown in your screen, so which one is the market capture right now? Right now, either UiPath or any automation
Right
engine?
now, see, right now, like all the tools are running in the same speed. Okay, the companies are hiring who has some knowledge on RPA. The company will not ask
No,
him.
no. Apart from that, it depends upon the cost of the license also, right?
Yeah.
So suppose I am getting a cheaper rate for anywhere, so why can't I purchase UiPath? It's costlier. Then I'll obviously use automation anywhere.
Yeah, that matters, sir. Whenever if you are
Apart,
working as a solution architect, then you have to decide what is your budget, what kind of client it is. If it is a diamond client, then you can't go for like some any of the tool. You have to analyze that what kind of tool, what kind of services I can give. If the client is in from banking sector, you can't implement your automation anywhere. There you have to go with the Blue Prism. So in that you have some specific parameters you have to choose. So what kind of tool we can use.
is there any like
For
RPA
banking,
developed for
which tool are you preferring? Rahul, for banking, which tool are you preferring?
For banking, we can prefer the Blue Prism because it is like any coding part, anything will not be visible to the market. It will be kind of encapsulation things will happen.
So you guys also train in Blue Prism, right? You have a program on that also.
Yes, we have.
Hey Rahul,
Yeah.
how is the demand of RPA in United States? Like I hear most of the RPA process is carried out in India. That's what I heard from few of my managers here. So any idea about that?
In US, if I am not sure about it, but in North America, like a lots of RPA processes are going on. So like a lots of like I think that like the people I know from some 10-15 people are working in Deloitte US. So some of them are also working on UI, and some of them are also working on Accenture in US. So yeah, they have lots of openings in throughout the world, throughout the globe. They have lots of options.
Okay.
You can try that.
Thank you.
Hey, Rahul, I have got one question.
Yeah.
My question is, Wipro uses Wipro Homes. IBM uses IBM Watson. How it is compared to your tool? And in your customer list, I believe I have seen Wipro as well there. But
Wipro as well as IBM also there.
Sir, first thing is, see, sir, I'll reply in a one-liner that it is like I'm not like aware of what is Wipro is doing, like what kind of tool IBM is implementing. I have not seen actually those tools or those implementations. But yes, I can tell you if you are implementing the RPA tools, these tools what the vendors I show you, that means you will get the 100% best result that those tools are implementing.
Sorry, what did you say? I missed that.
yeah, I also could not understand it.
So like I'm not aware of what is the IBM or Wipro or any other organization working on.
IBM Watson.
But if you'll be
IBM Watson is
Watson.
artificial intelligence tool. This is a RPA tool. There is a lot of difference between RPA and AI tools. Okay, so and it's a own tool. They never use for RPA purpose. It's artificial intelligence. Okay, and It's not like Wipro, if they have tool, only that tool will be used. We will
No,
implement.
in IBM also, they are also using these RPA tools.
Yes, yes.
Like they are also using Blue Prism and Automation Anywhere.
Automation.
I have no, I know.
Anybody having any question?
Hi Rahul, this is Sanjay from Pune.
Yeah, Sanjay, tell me.
Yeah, so I just wanted to confirm, will you be able to conduct the same training in Pune?
No, Sanjay. At present, we don't have.
Because we have somewhere around 6 to 7 people who are keen to attend this training. So it would be great if we can have the same training in Pune branch.
I think these trainings are all online, so it's not a physical training.
We don't have any classroom training session as such, you mean to say?
No, I think so. That's what I heard. I'm not sure.
Yes, we don't have any class.
Yes.
Rahul, which tool is the best one to learn? Now we are confused. Yesterday you had UiPath. Today you are giving the overview on automation. The selection of the tool is really a big question now.
See, all tools.
Yeah, I agree. Same question.
All.
See, as I told you, all the tools have the same demand in the market.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether you are learning Automation Anywhere, learning BP, learning OpenSpan, UiPath. Okay. So if you learn any tool, that is okay. You should be
Learning
knowing about the
perspective,
RPA.
UiPath is better because it's freeware, sir.
Okay, like you can go for the UiPath, no issues. But the thing is that you have to know what is the RPA concept is.
Definitely, but from learning perspective is good because it's freeware and you can learn easily at home. It's forums and all the I will install today at my laptop.
Okay.
Rahul, is there any SWOT analysis of these tools? What are the strength, weakness of all these tools?
I think it would be better to have the comparative analysis than the SWOT analysis.
That's
You can
right.
find
That's what I'm
compare
asking.
analysis on the net. Already charts are on the Google. You can Google and find the comparative charts.
Okay.